Hey everyone, Garland Colson here, Captain Time, and in this video we're going to talk about time estimating success tips, things you can do to be better at estimating your time. So why is this even a problem? Why is it so important that you estimate your time properly? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. I'll give you a few scenarios. Let's say that you tell your boss you can have it done by tomorrow, but when you dive into the project, it takes a lot longer than you expected. So your boss is hovering over you, they're upset. You told them you could have it done tomorrow and you're not done. Students often underestimate how long an assignment is going to take them. The assignment's due in a few weeks. They think it's only going to take them a few hours. But on the last day, when they start working on it, they find out there's a lot more research needed, a lot more information needed, and a lot more work, and they suddenly are out of time. And self-employed people run into similar problems. You tell the client the job's going to be done in a few weeks. You dig into it. There's problems, crises come up, emergencies, other issues, and it takes a lot longer than expected. So some of the harm that's being done here is you're left with no time to complete if you're bad at estimating your time. You have to hand the work in late. The work is generally of lower quality because you're not able to spend enough time on it. And in the case of where you're charging for the work, if you've underestimated how long it takes, you end up undercharging. If you thought it was going to take 5 hours and you want to charge $25 an hour, but it takes 10 hours, you're getting half of the rate that you wanted. So why are we so bad at estimating? We tend to overestimate our speed, how fast we can do things, and we tend to also overestimate our ability to focus. We don't anticipate all the potential obstacles. We don't fully plan the scope of the project, and there can often be scope creep that comes in. And we're not paying attention in the past to how long projects like this have really taken. So the first tip to success with better ways of estimating your time is to start by tracking your time. So when you track your time, it helps because tracking your time shows you how long a task really takes. Another reason I always run a timer whenever I'm working is that timer keeps me focused on the task at hand. If I'm supposed to work on that marketing project, when I'm running the timer, I know that I can't go on YouTube and look at funny cat videos or look at my email or do other things. Instead, I know I'm working only on that project. And over time, you build a library of tasks and how long they took for reference. So it makes it easier when you're going to estimate in the future how long something takes. You can go past and look at your library and say, oh, that task takes 4 hours. And in your head, you thought it takes 2. So when you quote somebody, you know you've got to allow 4 hours for it. So how do you track your time? Lots of ways. You can use a handwritten time log. You can use a spreadsheet, or you can use an app like Toggle, which has a free plan where you can track some of your stuff for free. Okay, tip number 2. I call this the Scotty method, which is where you quote at least double the time, maybe 3 or 4 times as long as it takes. And when you're done early, you're a miracle worker. So this is how Scotty did it. He always, from Star Trek, he always quoted that it was going to take a lot longer than it did. And then he was a hero because he would finish it early. So really, this is just building a time cushion into everything you do. If you think it's going to take 2 hours, allow 4 to 6 hours. So this allows for things that take longer than expected. And if you're done early, then you can move on to something else. And if you're doing this for a client and you've estimated you're going to have to build them for 4 hours, imagine their shock when you say, no, it only took me 2 and you build them less. That's going to give you a lot of credibility with that customer because they know they can count on you to charge them only what it really, the time it cost you to do it. Okay, next tip is to start well before the due date. So this is important because it helps you find issues or problems in time to do something about them. Remember when I talked about the student who thought the project was going to take 3 hours, allowed 3 hours on the final day of the project, didn't have enough time to do anything about it. So if you start well before the due date, that you think it's going to take 3 hours, put an hour or 2 into it within the first day or 2 just to see how the project's going to work, how it's going to shape up. The other major benefit is that this lets your mental back burner work for you. So if you've done an hour in the project, but then you're not going to do it any more time for a couple of days, then your mental back burner, the back of your mind, thinks about it, starts working through, and it generates all sorts of ideas, and the work comes out to be a lot better quality. So in summary, the 3 tips for you are: track your actual times of the tasks you're doing so that you can build better future estimates. Build time cushions into everything you do so you've got some extra time to recover when something takes longer. And start the project early. Don't wait 2 or 3 weeks to start a new project. Get an hour or 2 into it now so you can start to see some of the potential problems that are coming. Thanks for listening. Please hit the like and subscribe button down below to encourage me to continue to do videos like this, and put in the comments, tell me what you think of it. If you need more help from Garland, from me, just visit captaintime.com. I've got online courses, one-on-one coaching, custom training videos and webinars, and of course, my book. Thanks for listening.